When it comes to transit operation, the goals of a preventive maintenance program are simple. Put safe vehicles on the road, achieve the best performance at the least cost, and maximize vehicle life. This video will introduce you to the Rural Transit Assistance Training Program, which will help you develop the right skills and teamwork to sustain a successful preventive maintenance program and meet those goals.
Preventive maintenance isn't a magic process.
It's not about process at all.
It's about people. People like you. It's people who breathe life into preventive maintenance efforts. It's people who must carry out the preventive maintenance programs. And it is people who are served by the program's success. Of course, a little magic never hurts. So I'm here to offer you an advantage. The 10 golden rules of preventive maintenance. You must plant the seeds of preventive maintenance. There are 5 basic elements to an effective preventive maintenance program. Like seeds, if properly tended to, each will flourish.
The first basic element is the development and implementation of an overall approach or philosophy within the preventive maintenance plan.
Next, a mandate, a requirement. Each vehicle must be inspected every day that it is used.
And make sure that a pre- and post-trip inspection checklist is used to document this process. Thirdly, there should be a written record of any critical problems that occur on the vehicle when it is in use. And there should be a process for timely response to correct these problems before the vehicle is put back in service.
And then there's this. You must base your preventive maintenance schedule upon certain fundamentals.
These include miles driven, days in operation, environmental conditions, manufacturer requirements, and the regulations that are in effect. Finally, you should be sure to comply with state and federal regulations that mandate preventive maintenance programs for transportation vehicles.
When these elements are in place, you'll have a preventive maintenance program that benefits everybody. You must seek the benefits of a preventive maintenance program. This vehicle has big problems. It could have benefited from preventive maintenance. So, now, the top 5 reasons for preventive maintenance.
Number 5, records on which to base future decisions. Number 4, reduced overall costs. Number 3, reduced breakdowns and greater vehicle reliability. Number 2, enhanced safety. And the number 1 benefit of preventive maintenance, extended vehicle service life.
Preventive maintenance. You can't beat it. After all, when a vehicle breaks down on a route, it can cause a variety of problems.
These include delayed and missed schedules, extra maintenance costs including towing, extra driver costs based on additional labor requirements, disruption of routine maintenance functions, lost revenue, need for backup equipment availability, not to mention the possibility of claims and liability resulting from accident or injury.
So remember, people outside your agency also reap the benefits of your preventive maintenance program. They'll enjoy reliable service.
Dr. Maintenance to the ER on the double.
Ooh, gotta go. You must convert the masses. Preventive maintenance is not just the job of the maintenance technician. Everyone must participate in preventive maintenance if the program is to succeed. How can the masses participate? The bus stops here. Drivers should inspect their vehicles, not only with a critical eye for defects, but also with a professional attitude. Drivers are the front line of maintenance success. Vendors make up a large part of the industry, supplying everything from auto parts to bus routing software and vehicle washing services. They must understand agency needs and constraints. Customers, too, should be involved. For example, some transit agencies include representatives from disability organizations in meetings involving selection and operations of its paratransit fleet. We sure do love our customers. Oh, the message is clear. Converting the masses to support preventive maintenance is an ongoing agency effort. Reach out to everyone. That will ensure real success. I love it! Ha ha! You must cast commitments in stone. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to reaffirm that preventive maintenance is a serious commitment. Anyone making that commitment, be they in development, service functions, or scheduling aspects of the program, must take into consideration these 6 guidelines.
When developing and implementing a workable preventive maintenance program, be sure to include the vehicle manufacturer's service criteria and federal and state regulatory requirements. Vehicle inspection and service functions must be scheduled, and the schedule must be followed. Necessary fast-moving preventive maintenance parts, as well as manufactured specific parts, must be purchased and placed into inventory. Work orders, fuel logs, driver's inspections, and other control systems must be integrated into the preventive maintenance program. The most competent maintenance technicians must be selected, hired, and trained. Vehicle tires must be selected and purchased, and tire repair options investigated. And finally, preventive maintenance tools and service equipment must be carefully selected and purchased.
These are the basics. If these basics are not present, then cost controls and possibly the entire preventive maintenance program is at risk of disorganization and failure. On the other hand, once these basics are etched in stone, the maintenance staff can begin to organize the system that best services their particular vehicle fleet. I now pronounce you Bus and Bus. Don't they look so happy? I love weddings. You must follow safe inspection procedures, use proper tools, and be aware of the hazards. Safe inspection procedures, proper tools, and awareness of hazards. Elementary deductions. Let's look at the clues one at a time, shall we? When it comes to drivers doing their daily pre-trip and post-trip inspections, several steps should be covered.
Approach and walk around the vehicle checking for damage, leaks, and correct tire pressure. Check the engine compartment for leaks. Then check your fluid levels and the condition of belts and hoses. Start the engine and inspect the cab, including its environmental controls, wipers, mirrors, and seat. Shut down the engine and check the lights. Check the signal lights. Restart the engine and check the brakes. Check that all emergency equipment is on board. Check the wheelchair lift.
Also, both the driver and the mechanic must remember that scheduled preventive maintenance inspections require proper tools.
A typical inspection process should include a correctly functioning tire gauge, battery load tester, alternator tester, freon leak detector, and brake drum micrometer. It is important to develop a monthly review form and physically inspect all tools and equipment for unsafe conditions. And remember, vehicle repair facilities pose many hazards, so be careful of such things as vehicle fires and explosions, scalding and chemical burns, skin and eye punctures, breathing toxic vapors, smashing fingers or toes, vehicles rolling away or falling. Just as preventive maintenance provides safe, clean, and reliable vehicles, a tool maintenance program will ensure you have the reliable and right tools to perform the right job.
You see, There's no mystery to it whatsoever. Yes, elementary. You must shape your preventive maintenance program to your needs. A successful preventive maintenance program is designed with flexibility in mind. This enables management to modify and adjust ongoing inspections, service, and repair programs in response to needs and conditions. Of course, there's a whole array of conditions that impact the preventive maintenance functions for a fleet of vehicles. These include the environment. Weather places significant pressures on the operation, cost, and maintenance functions of a vehicle fleet. Driver inspection can have great impact. Poor inspections by drivers or incomplete defect information undermine effective preventive maintenance programs. Now, don't forget the aging factor. Vehicle age can put a demand on a preventive maintenance program. Keep in mind that transit fleets should operate within federal guidelines. 4 years for a paratransit vehicle and 5 to 7 years for a mid-range bus. And then there are the spare ratios. And we're not talking about that spare tire around your waist, honey, which you want to get rid of. We are talking about DOT studies that recommend that you maintain a 10 to 15% ratio of spare vehicles. So remember, flexibility, planning for the peaks and valleys of demand is key to a successful and effective program. You must chronicle technical specs for vehicle procurement. A transit agency's vehicle replacement strategy should be a recipe for success. And like a recipe, it should include developing the basic technical specifications for all systems, materials, and components necessary to operate the vehicle. These specifications should take into consideration several factors,
such as the service area's environment and geography, your cost and operating economies associated with the system, materials, or component, and requirements recommended or dictated by regulatory agencies. There are also maintenance and staff requirements within the present in-house or contracted facilities, the stated life cycle of the system, material, or component, and the ability to maintain with a minimum of problems. Then there's the specifications themselves. They must outline performance criteria for all systems, materials, and components.
So you see, effective preventive maintenance programs include a real understanding of the maintenance implications of vehicle types, systems, and components. You must witness success and chronicle progress. Ah, yes, preventive maintenance, a wise venture. Yet how do you measure success of a program? The results of a preventive maintenance program must be measured by your organization's return on investment. After all, a penny saved is a penny earned. Every organization must have the ability to evaluate agency performance and set targets for improvement. A fleet preventive maintenance program is a process that has at least 6 cost centers. These cost centers are labor, fuel, parts, facilities and equipment, vehicles, and tires. If careful attention is given to each of these areas, you will be able to readily evaluate strengths and weaknesses in your organization's structure, policies, and procedures. This is a good thing because, after all, a stitch in time saves 9. And speaking of 9, you must praise and reward staff achievements.
You've just improved your organization's bottom line with a successful preventive maintenance program. What are you going to do now?
I'm going on vacation! It doesn't have to be that elaborate, but you should praise and reward your staff.
Developing and implementing a preventive maintenance program requires dedication, resources, and an understanding of modern fleet management. Today's transit manager has the responsibility to go beyond the nuts and bolts of inspecting and repairing vehicles. The effective leader must create a unified organization that works together to realize maintenance achievements. These achievements must be recognized and celebrated. A recognition program can include things like establishing a driver or mechanic of the month program, with vehicle inspection and efficient repair diagnoses as a selection criterion. The need to give positive feedback doesn't just apply to the manager. Drivers must find a way to show their appreciation for the efforts of those responsible for keeping transit vehicles maintained, safe, and operating as they should. Maintenance staff must communicate their respect for driver professionalism by correcting driver-identified defects in a timely manner.
Good working conditions help any organization create a workplace that is a pleasure to be in, which in turn is a catalyst for the best levels of individual effort. This means having the right training, the right tools, the right environment, the right encouragement, and the right assistance to get the job done. Whoa! Hey! I'm coming! You must create joyful conditions. Once the goals of a preventive maintenance program are achieved, that peak level of performance must be maintained. There has to be an ongoing focus on your agency's mission and on the part each must play in carrying out that mission. It also helps to remember the 6 steps to maintenance management excellence.
Number 6, live by a standard of absolute ethics. Consistency, honesty, and integrity must never be compromised in the management of your preventive maintenance program. Number 5, encourage a climate of positive energy. Yes, problems arise in even the best of organizations. What carries a team through the challenging times is a leader who generates positive workplace energy. Number 4, develop an arsenal of leadership tools and skills. These can range from communication skills to team facilitation to conflict resolution. For managers, these skills are as critical as mechanical and electrical skills. Number 3, make a commitment to the long journey. Stick to it through whatever challenges you may encounter as you build a quality-driven maintenance effort. Remember that there are no quick fixes. Number 2, search for the values that drive people. Every effort must be made to identify workplace values and align them with your organization's culture, mission, and vision. Number 1, learn what the experts say. It's essential that you become familiar with contemporary management thinking. Study the best practices in both the public and private sectors. Underlying principles such as these provide stability.
Keep these 6 steps in mind always, and your preventive maintenance program will reach the highest level of safety and excellence. There are additional vast riches in the workbook that will aid you in developing and maintaining a successful preventive maintenance program. The workbook also includes an appendix, which will aid you in selecting and managing contracted maintenance. I wish you good luck and every success.